Something new I have discovered. Arunachala.
Guru Ramana Singam
Aruchakravarti Peruman Guru Ramana Singam
Yengumodi Vishidaya Simhasanate Asanate Tangiyame Jnanam Aruchakravarti Peruman Yengumodi Vishidaya Simhasanate Asanate Tangiyame Jnanam Aruchakravarti Peruman Bangamila Monarod Papan Guru Ramana Singam En Kannimayin Shirmayyaravatitre Bangamila Monarod Papan Guru Ramana Singam En Kannimayin Shirmayyaravatitre
Padanida Padama Pada Pama Pagama Pama Gari Sari Gama Sasa Sariri Gagama Mama Papa Pada Nini Sasa Sariri Gari Saniri Sani Ni Saniri Da 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 Mapa Manida Pama Da Panida Saniri Sagari Sanida Pama Sari Gama Pada Nisa Aruchakravarti Peruman Guru Ramana Singam
Guru Ramanan Vaati Ahankara Mayaka Unarchi Aravuttinan Guru Ramanan Ullattolir Swarupanubhavam Ullattolir Swarupanubhavam
Padanida Padama Pada Pama Pagama Pama Gari Sari Gama Sasa Sariri Gagama Mama Papa Pada Nini Sasa Sariri Gari Saniri Sa Ni Saniri Da 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 Mapa Manida Pama Da Panida Saniri Sa Gari Sanida Pama Sadi Gama Pada Nisa Aruchakravarti Peruman Guru Ramana Singam
Guru Ramanan Kadayana Ennai Arutkannoki Kanivitthu Guru Ramanan Todayana Thotirangal Solvitta Paranjyothi Todayana Thotirangal Solvitta Paranjyothi Kadayana Mummalamum Kahartherindendranayana Kadayana Mummalamum Kahartherindendranayana Udayane Unai Alladuru Tunai Matrariyene Udayane Unai Alladuru Tunai
charming man. By him were little monkeys. They went up the tree, and there were little squirrels. They came down, another one came. And she looked and said, I know him. This is Dandakaranya. Of course, isn't it? And he is Sri Rama. I know it. I have seen all the stories. I've heard them. This surely is Sri Rama. You see, in that little girl's mind, she had seen something which was hard to believe when she heard the stories. But when she saw some Sri Rama come alive, she realized that Sri Rama is not a myth. And that is how this play has created and been designed to let us know that the concept of Sri Rama is not a myth. For the Bhagavan that we know has manifested in all of the ways that Sri Rama has. This play is about how Sri Rama, Sri Ramana. Sri Rama, Sri Ramana. There's a little bit of Rama and Ramana, not just in the word, but also in the spirit. That is what this play is all about. Let me take you to the first act as it unfolds. How many of you know that in the Adi Kavya, the epic Ramayana, on that one fateful day when a golden deer was running this way and that and this way and that, what happened next? Who wanted that deer? Can you tell me? Sita it was. She looked, I want that, she said, to the nearest man who was next to her, and that was none other than Rama, who loved his beloved wife, went right after it. And he went and he went, and it ran and it ran and it ran. For that golden deer was the reason why this great epic unfolded. It ran and it ran and it ran, took him far, far, far away, until he shot an arrow, and it screamed, oh, Lakshmana, oh, Lakshmana. And then who came running after? Because he loved his brother too much. None other than Lakshmana. Leaving Sita Mate, but not before the Lakshman Rekha was drawn. And he went looking after his brother. Although he knew, you know and I know, and he knew that nothing could have ever happened to Sri Rama. And yet, because we have to see the great war between Rama and Ravana, he had to do what he did, which was go after his brother. And then it happened. A simple Brahmin came to the house of Sita, came to the house, stood across the Rekha, for even this Brahmin knew the power of that Rekha, stood on this side and asked for alms. And you know what happened after that. Sita Mata, who is the most kind, the most generous, the most virtuous of all women, walked right to it. And she had to get across. And then she was lifted away. And this man who was in guise of a Brahmin was none other than the great Asura, the great Ravanasura. And 10 heads appeared in front of her. And she was taken aback, for she was dragged into the Viman, and off it flew. And then, of course, Rama and Lakshmana were looking for them. I take you now to that scene which is going to unfold before you, where the Pushpaka Viman flew and flew and flew. There on the way, there was the great bird that lifted its great wings and flew towards the Vimana, for it knew that Sita Mata was being taken away by force. And it lifted its wings and it flapped them and it flapped them. There was a thunderous sound and it put up such a fight that even the great Asura was stunned, for his Vimana rocked this way and that way as he flapped and pushed. It was a storm in front of him. And then as Ravana struggled, and for a moment he even thought that he might lose grip and might lose his Ramana. And that is when, in the end, after a great fight that Jatayu put, unfortunately, Ravana pulled out his sword and he took it and mercilessly he just cut the wings of Jatayu, and Jatayu, the great bird, rolled and dropped down he came, just like that. And he struggled, but he knew that he had to wait until he could pass on the message to great Sri Rama. He knew that he had a great role to play, and he waited and he struggled as he bled. And as he ached, he waited for Sri Rama to come. As he waited, soon Rama and Lakshmana started to look for Sita, and there they arrived. And finally, Jatayu looked at them and he went close, for his voice was too weak, and he looked and said, "Oh, Sri Rama." And Rama, in all his love, bent down and looked at the bird. What is it? "Oh, Jatayu, what is it?" He says, "I have waited until this moment. I can't live anymore. I just have to tell you that Sita Mata has been taken away by the demonic monster. She has been taken and she has gone to Dakshina, she has gone to the south. But before I die, let me tell you, you have my blessings. You shall find her. Go forth, Sri Rama. Go forth, Lakshmana. For you will find Sita Mata." And he bent down and he paid his last moment of devotion, and he just gave his life up. For his role had been played. Sri Rama looked at Jatayu, and the first thing he remembered, I could not perform the last rites of my father. Here it is an opportunity for me, for you are like my father. You are my father's dear friend, and you are to me my father. And to you I shall do the Antima Samskara. To you I shall do everything that it takes for a son to do to his father. And he performed the last rites, and he said all the divine mantras. He said the Garuda Purana, and as he said it, that was the moment the soul of Jatayu rose in moksha. And as the mantras came, everywhere in the heavens, the devas, we could hear them reverberate, "Jai Jai Jatayu, Jai Jai Jatayu," for that bird, that great bird, had done such a great service to Sri Rama. Let us watch what happens next. But I must tell you, just like this great story, many years later, really quite recently, there was another great man who gave another little bird moksha, and that is none other than Bhagavan Sri Ramana, who gave moksha to a little crow. Would you like to see that? Yes. Hold on and put your seat belts on, for you're going to be taken on a great ride to see Bhagavan Sri Ramana.
ನಾನೆಂಬುದನು ನೀಗಿ ನಲಿಯುವೆನು, ದೇಹ ಭಾವನೆಯ ದಹನೆ ಮಾಡುವೆನು. ನಾನೆಂಬುದನು ನೀಗಿ ನಲಿಯುವೆನು, ದೇಹ ಭಾವನೆಯ ದಹನೆ ಮಾಡುವೆನು. ರಮಣ ಚರಣವನು ಪಿಡಿದು ಬದುಕುವೆನು. ರಮಣ ಚರಣವನು ಪಿಡಿದು ಬದುಕುವೆನು. ಭವದ ಭೀತಿಯನು ಭವದ ಭೀತಿಯನು ಇನ್ನು ಮರೆಯುವೆನು, ಇನ್ನು ಮರೆಯುವೆನು. ನಾನೆಂಬುದನು ನೀಗಿ ನಲಿಯುವೆನು. ಮನವೇ ರಚಿಸುತ್ತಿಹ ವಿಷದ ಬಲೆಯನ್ನು ರಮಣ ಶಸ್ತ್ರದಲ್ಲಿ ಕಡಿದು ಚೆಲ್ಲುವೆನು. ಮನವೇ ರಚಿಸುತ್ತಿಹ ವಿಷದ ಬಲೆಯನ್ನು ರಮಣ ಶಸ್ತ್ರದಲ್ಲಿ ಕಡಿದು ಚೆಲ್ಲುವೆನು. ನಾನೆಂಬುದನು ನೀಗಿ ನಲಿಯುವೆನು. ಮನವ ಅಂತ್ಯದಲ್ಲಿ ರಮಣ ಮೂಲದಲ್ಲಿ ಹೃದಯ ಕೇಂದ್ರದಲ್ಲಿ ಲಯಿಸಿ ಸುಖಿಸುವೆನು. ಮನವ ಅಂತ್ಯದಲ್ಲಿ ರಮಣ ಮೂಲದಲ್ಲಿ ಹೃದಯ ಕೇಂದ್ರದಲ್ಲಿ ಲಯಿಸಿ ಸುಖಿಸುವೆನು. ಹೃದಯ ಕೇಂದ್ರದಲ್ಲಿ ಲಯಿಸಿ ಸುಖಿಸುವೆನು.
ಗುರುದೇವಕಾಗೆ ಒಂದು ಕುಳಿತಿದೆ 3 ದಿನದಿಂದ. ಗುರುದೇವಕಾಗೆ ಒಂದು ಕುಳಿತಿದೆ 3 ದಿನದಿಂದ. ಕೂಗಿದರು ಕದರದಿದೆ ಮೊಂಡುತನದಿಂದ, ಕೂಗಿದರು ಕದರದಿದೆ ಮೊಂಡುತನದಿಂದ.
ನನಗಾಗಿ ಕಾದೆಯ ಅಜ್ಜ, ನಿನಗಾಗಿ ಬಂದಿಹೆನು ನೋಡಜ್ಜ. ಈಗ ಸರಿ ಹೋಯಿತಾ? ಮನಸ್ಸಿಗೆ ತೃಪ್ತಿ ಆಯಿತಾ?
ಸಾವು ಬಂದರು ನನ್ನ ಸನಿಹವೇ, ನನಗಿಲ್ಲ ಭಯವು ಗುರುವೇ. ಸಾವು ಬಂದರು ನನ್ನ ಸನಿಹವೇ, ನನಗಿಲ್ಲ ಭಯವು ರಮಣ. ನಿನ್ನ ಕರುಣೆಯಿಂದ ನಾನು ಪಾವನ ಧನ್ಯನಾದೆ. ಧನ್ಯವಾಯಿತೀಗ ಜೀವನ ನಿನ್ನ ಕರುಣೆಯಿಂದ ನಾನು ಪಾವನ ಧನ್ಯವಾಯಿತೀಗ ಜೀವನ ತಂದೆ ತಾಯಿ ಬಂಧು ಬಳಗ ನೀನೇ ತಂದೆ ತಾಯಿ ಬಂಧು ಬಳಗ ನೀನೇ ನಿನಗಿಂತ ಮಿಗಿಲು ಏನು ಕಾಣೆ ನಿನಗಿಂತ ಮಿಗಿಲು ಏನು ಕಾಣೆ.
ಮುಕ್ತಿ ಇತ್ತ ತಾತ ಕಾಗೆಗೂ ಈ ಪವಾಡವನ್ನು ಕೇಳಿ. ಮಧುರ ರಮಣ ಮುನಿವರನಿಗೆ ನಮನ ನೂರಾರು ನಮನ ಹೇಳಿ.
ಮಧುರ ರಮಣ ಮಧುರ ರಮಣ ಮಧುರ ರಮಣ.
Rama and Lakshmana, they continued their journey looking for Sita Mata in great distress and despair. As they walked along towards the south, what Sri Rama didn't know was he was about to meet one of the greatest devotees there ever was, and her name was Shabari Pati, the old woman Shabari. She was really a forest dweller. The only friends that she had were all the other forest dwellers who were, for example, one forest dweller, rabbits and lions and tigers, and a little parrot. Parrot and a rabbit one day sat next to Shabari, and the parrot looked at Shabari and said, Pati, why you are always saying Shri Rama, Shri Rama, Shri Rama? Who is this Shri Rama? Shabari looks at that parrot and she says, you don't know who Shri Rama is? Shri Rama is the Lord of the universe. He is your Lord, my Lord, and this whole universe belongs to Shri Rama. That is who he is. And then the rabbit looks at Shabari and the rabbit says, but tell me, when is he coming? When is he coming to you to meet you? And Shabari says, I don't know, but he knows when the sun should rise, he knows when the flower should bloom, he knows when the bird should fly, he knows when the wind should blow, he knows when he should come. I will wait with patience, and I have all the faith that he will come. He will come, he will come. And just then on that day, from afar, the parrot, because it could see all the way from a distance, suddenly it said, Pati, Pati, tell me, Shri Rama and Shri Lakshmana, are they handsome? Do they look like princes? Because even though there are two people who are coming who they're not dressed like royal people, but they certainly look like they are princes. And I think they're coming your way. They're coming my way. My wait has ended. Shri Rama, oh Lakshmana, Shri Lakshmana, Shri Rama. And she was brimming and overflowing with joy. as her wait, her lifelong wait, came to fruition, and there she bowed down before him and she said, "Sit, sit, you must be hungry. You have come from a long, long way. Sit, I have something for you. I collect flowers and fruits every day for you, every day, so that when you come, they will be fresh." And she picked up a wild berry, the berries that she took every day, and she put it to her mouth. "Not this one, not this one. It is too sour. This should not be eaten by Sri Rama and Lakshmana. Let me see." And then she picked up another one. Such was her devotion. She picked it up and she gave it a little bite. "This one is the right one. This you shall have." And she took it and she gave it. And Lakshmana is a little shocked. But Sri Rama takes it with such great love. And he says, puts it in his mouth. "It is so sweet. Shabari, Mata, it is so sweet. Thank you," he says. Such was the devotion that Sri Rama recognized, no matter that she put it in her mouth and she gave it to him. Such was Sri Rama. Jai Sri Rama, say all his devotees. In the same way, not too long ago, rather recently, Bhagavan Sri Ramana also had a great devotee. She also bought dosas because she was dosa party. Dosas that were not necessarily the best. But let's go and watch how Sri Ramana takes it and relishes it. Wait and watch.
ಭಕ್ತರ ಸಾಲ ರಮಣ ರಮಣ ಕೃಪಾಪೂರ್ಣನೆ ಆತ್ಮಾನಂದನೆ ಭಕ್ತರ ಮನವನು ಅರಳಿಸುವವನೇ ಕರುಣಾಮೂರ್ತಿಯೇ.
ಬನ್ನಿ ಅಜ್ಜಿ, ಬನ್ನಿ. ಈ ಜನಗಳಿಗೆ ಗೊತ್ತಿಲ್ಲ ಹೇಗೆ ನಡೆಯಬೇಕೆನ್ನುವುದು. ಅವರು ಸಣ್ಣ ಮಕ್ಕಳು. ನೀವು ಹೇಗಿದ್ದೀರಿ? ನಿಮ್ಮ ಜನಗಳು ಇನ್ನೂ ನಮ್ಮನ್ನು ಸರಿಯಾಗಿ ನೋಡಿಕೊಳ್ಳುತ್ತಿಲ್ಲವೇ?
ದೋಸೆ ಮಾರಾಟದ ಜೀವನವು ನಿನ್ನ ಅನುಗ್ರಹದಿಂದ ಬಂದ ವರದಾನ, ಆಸೆಯಿಂದ ತಂದು ಬಂದೆ, ತಿನ್ನರೆ ಮನಕ್ಕೆ ಸಮಾಧಾನ.
ಕರುಣಾಮೂರ್ತಿಯೇ ಅರುಣಾಧೀಶನೇ ಭಕ್ತರ ಸಲಹುವ ಭಾವಭಯಹರನೇ. ಕರುಣಾಮೂರ್ತಿಯೇ ಅರುಣಾಧೀಶನೇ ಭಕ್ತರ ಸಲಹುವ ಭಾವಭಯಹರನೇ. ಕರುಣಾಮೂರ್ತಿಯೇ ಅರುಣಾಧೀಶನೇ ಭಕ್ತರ ಸಲಹುವ ಭಾವಭಯಹರನೇ. ಕೃಪಾಪೂರ್ಣನೇ ಆತ್ಮಾನಂದನೇ ಭಕ್ತರ ಮನವನು ಅರಳಿಸುವವನೇ. ಅಜ್ಜಿ ತಂದ ಹದವಿಲ್ಲದ ದೋಸೆಯಲ್ಲೂ ಒಂದು ರುಚಿಯೇ, ಸಿಹಿಯೂ ರುಚಿಯೂ ತುಂಬಿದ ಔತಣ ನಾವು ನೀಡಿದರೆ ಕಮ್ಮಿಯೇ. ಅಜ್ಜಿ ತಂದ ಹದವಿಲ್ಲದ ದೋಸೆಯಲ್ಲೂ ಒಂದು ರುಚಿಯೇ.
ಔತಣದೂಟವ ನೀವು ಮಾಡುವಿರಿ, ಆದರೆ ಈ ದೋಸೆ ಉಣ್ಣುವವರಾರು? ಒಪ್ಪಿರದ ಅಜ್ಜಿಯ ಪ್ರೀತಿಯೇ ನನ್ನ ಹೃದಯದ ಮೋದ. ಒಪ್ಪಿರದ ಈ ದೋಸೆಗಳೇ ನನ್ನ ಊಟದ ಆಮೋದ.
Let me take you on the journey that Sri Rama and Sri Lakshmana continued to go on until they reached the kingdom of Kishkinda. Kishkinda, which was ruled by the great Vanara, the great monkey king called Vali, whose brother was Sugriva. And there was a great rift that existed between King Vali and his brother Sugriva. Now, Sri Rama knew that in order to slay the demonic monster Ravanasura, he needed an army, and Sugriva was ready to give an army to Sri Rama, but on one condition. Sugriva himself needed to be installed the rightful king, and for that he needed to defeat Vali, who had a great anger inside him for his brother. That's another long story. But for now, what you need to pay attention to is the fact that Sugriva asks Rama, pleads with Rama, tells him, you are the one who can help me defeat my brother. Can you please help me do that? And I will give everything that I ever have to you in order that Sita Mata is brought back to us safely. Rama agrees and says, I shall help you defeat your brother. Now, what all of us should remember is that Vali, that Vanara, had a great power. You see, just like the Avengers of today, he had a superpower. Every time he got into a contest with anybody, any time he got into a fight, half of the power of his opponent would come to him. And so, it was pretty impossible for anyone to defeat Vali, and that is why Sugriva needed the help of Sri Rama. And Sri Rama had promised. Sri Rama told him, Sugriva, fret not, fear not. Call your brother, challenge him to a fight. Thank you. I will be ever grateful to you, Sri Rama, he said. And then the fateful day where the contest was kept began. Vali said, you want to fight me, you brother of mine, you the Vanara that I dislike, I hate. Come, fight with me. Not knowing that Sri Rama was far away and watching. And then the fight began, the great fight between Vali and Sugriva. A fight like none other. And as they thumped each other's chest and as they fought like two great Vanara, what happened was, as always, Sugriva fell down in defeat. Look at you. Why do you come in this contest with me? Why do you challenge me? Laughed Vali. And off he went. Poor Sugriva, injured and battered in the battle with his brother, went looking for Sri Rama. Sri Rama, my lord, why did you do this? You promised you would help me. Look at me, I'm bruised, I'm battered, I'm defeated, I'm injured. Why didn't you do anything? And Sri Rama says, I would have done it. I just don't know how to differentiate you. All of you look alike. How am I supposed to know who is Sugriva, who is Vali? So, I think there is one way we can do this. Call for another battle with Call, he says. Call, but this time you will wear a mala, which incidentally will be your Jaya mala. It will be your victorious mala. When you wear it, I will know whom to shoot an arrow on. Don't you worry, he says. Go and call your brother for a battle. And so, can you imagine, for the second time, Sugriva goes and challenges his brother. This is comical. You want another one? I'm not even sure your bruises have healed yet and you're calling me for a come. Why not? Come before me and I shall have another fight, said Vali, not knowing what was in store for him. And then another battle ensued. This time, Sugriva with a mala. And then, like two Vanara warriors, again they came and they fought, bravely putting each other down and thrashing and pounding each other until Rama from afar could make out which brother was it that he wanted to save. And down came an arrow straight at the heart of Vali, and he fell down. He was slain. And that was the moment Sugriv and everyone in the kingdom looked at him and rejoiced, for they had anointed a new king. Jai Sugriva, said they, thanks to the help of Sri Rama. Now, just like that, not too long ago, rather recently, Bhagavan Sri Ramana, who incidentally knew all the rules and regulations that it's needed to run the kingdom of Vanaras, like Rama, also with his grace anointed a king of the monkey clan, a king who was ousted from his clan, whose name was Nondi, for he was a little lame monkey. How, Sri Ramana? taught him to go back and get his kingdom, win his kingdom over, is something that you will enjoy watching in this dance drama.
ನಾವು ಇನ್ನೇನು ಸ್ಕಂದಾಶ್ರಮವನ್ನು ತಲುಪಿದ್ದೇವೆ. ನೀನು ಶೀಘ್ರದಲ್ಲೇ ನಮ್ಮ ನೆಚ್ಚಿನ ಭಗವಾನರನ್ನು ಕಾಣಬಹುದು. ಇದು ನಿಮ್ಮ ಜೀವನದಲ್ಲೇ ಒಂದು ಅಮೋಘವಾದ ಸಮಯ. ಭಗವಾನರ ಕೈಯಿಂದಲೇ ಅವರ ಸಮ್ಮುಖದಲ್ಲೇ ಕಿರೀಟಧಾರಣೆ ಮಾಡಿಸಿಕೊಳ್ಳುತ್ತಿರುವೆ. ಓಹ್ ನೋಡಿ, ನನಗೆ ನಿನ್ನ ಮೇಲೆ ಬಹಳ ಹೆಮ್ಮೆಯಾಗುತ್ತಿದೆ. ನೀನು ಹೇಗೆ ಆ ಕ್ರೂರಿ ರಾಜನನ್ನು ನೆನೆಸಿ ನಮ್ಮನ್ನು ಕಾಪಾಡಿದೆ? ನೀನು ಒಂದು ಕ್ಷಣವೂ ನನ್ನ ದುರ್ಬಲತೆಯ ಬಗ್ಗೆ ಯೋಚಿಸಲಿಲ್ಲ. ಅದೆಲ್ಲವೂ ಭಗವಾನರ ದಯೆ. ಅವರು ಹೇಳಿದ್ದರು, ಕೋತಿಗಳು ತಪಸ್ಸಿನ ಮೂಲಕ ಶಕ್ತಿಶಾಲಿಯಾಗಬಹುದೆಂದು. ನೀನು ತಪಸ್ಸು ಹಾಗೆಂದರೇನು? ಭಗವಾನರು ಅನೇಕ ಭಕ್ತರುಗಳಿಗೆ ವಿವರಿಸುವುದನ್ನು ಕೇಳಿದ್ದೇನೆ. ಎಲ್ಲೆಡೆ ಇರುವ ದೈವಶಕ್ತಿಯು ನಮ್ಮಲ್ಲಿ ಆಧ್ಯಾತ್ಮ ಹೃದಯದಲ್ಲಿ ನಾನು ನಾನು ಎಂದು ನಿರಂತರವಾಗಿ ಹೊಳೆಯುತ್ತಿದೆ. ಈ ನಾನು ಎಂಬ ಭಾವನೆ ಎಲ್ಲಿಂದ ಉದ್ಭವಿಸುತ್ತದೆ ಎಂದು ಗಮನ ನೀಡಿದರೆ, ಇಲ್ಲದಿದ್ದರೆ ನಾನು ಯಾರು ಎಂದು ವಿಚಾರಿಸಿದರೆ ನಮ್ಮ ನಿಜ ದೈವೀ ಶಕ್ತಿಯ ಅರಿವಾಗುತ್ತದೆ. ಇದೇ ತಪಸ್ಸು. ಬಂದು ಬಿಟ್ಟೆವು. ಆದರೆ ಆಶ್ರಮವೇಕೆ ಬರಿದಾಗಿದೆ? ಏಕೆ ಯಾರೂ ಕಾಣುತ್ತಿಲ್ಲ? ಭಗವಾನ್, ಭಗವಾನ್, ಓ, ಅವರೆಲ್ಲರೂ ಗಿರಿಪ್ರದಕ್ಷಿಣೆಗೆ ಹೋಗಿರಬೇಕು. ನಾನು ಎಂಥ ದುರ್ಭಾಗ್ಯಶಾಲಿ. ಭಗವಾನರ ಸಮ್ಮುಖದಲ್ಲಿ ನನ್ನ ಕಿರೀಟಧಾರಣೆ ಆಗಲಿಲ್ಲವಲ್ಲ. ನಾನು ನಿಜವಾಗಿಯೂ ಅದೃಷ್ಟಹೀನನು. ನಾನು ಅದೃಷ್ಟಹೀನ. ಬನ್ನಿ, ಇನ್ನೇನು ಸುಖವಿಲ್ಲ. ಬನ್ನಿ ಹೋಗೋಣ.
ಅಯ್ಯೋ ದೇವ್ರೆ, ಏನು ಆಶ್ರಮ ಇಷ್ಟು ಕೊಳಕಾಗಿದೆ? ಎಲ್ಲೆಡೆಯೂ ಮರದ ಎಲೆಗಳು, ಕಡ್ಡಿಗಳು ಹರಡಿವೆ.
ಇದು ನೊಂಡಿ ಮತ್ತು ಇತರ ಕೋತಿಗಳ ಕೆಲಸವಿರಬೇಕು. ನೋಡು, ಅವನ ಪುಟ್ಟ ಬಾಗಿಲು ತೆರೆದಿದೆ. ಅಂದರೆ ಅವನಿಲ್ಲಿ ಬಂದಿದ್ದ.
ಭಗವಾನ್, ನೋಡಿ, ನೊಂಡಿ ಎಂತಹ ಕೆಲಸ ಮಾಡಿದ್ದಾನೆ ಅಂತ.
ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ಕಾರಣವಿರಬಹುದು. ನೋಡೋಣ, ಕಾದು ನೋಡೋಣ.
ಭಗವಾನ್, ಯಚ್ಚಮ್ಮ ಇಂದು ನಮಗೆ ಮೃಷ್ಟಾನ್ನ ಭೋಜನ ತಂದಿದ್ದಾಳೆ.
ಹೌದೇ? ಅದು ಬಹಳ ಒಳ್ಳೆಯದು. ಏಕೆಂದರೆ ಇಂದು ನಮಗೆ ಅತಿಥಿಗಳು ಇದ್ದಾರೆ. ನೋಡು, ನೊಂಡಿ ದೊಡ್ಡ ಗುಂಪಿನೊಂದಿಗೆ ಬರುತ್ತಿದ್ದಾನೆ. ನೊಂಡಿಯ ತಟ್ಟಿಗೆ ಬಿಡಿಸು, ಹಾಗೂ ಇತರ ಕೋತಿಗಳಿಗೂ ಅಲ್ಲೇ ಬಿಡಿಸು. ನೊಂಡಿ ಆ ಎತ್ತರದ ಮರದ ತುದಿಯೇರಿ ಆಡಿಸುತ್ತಿದ್ದಾನೆ. ಅವರಿಬ್ಬರಿಗೆ ಮೊದಲು ಆಹಾರವನ್ನು ಕೊಡುತ್ತಿದ್ದಾನೆ. ಅಂದರೆ ಅವರು ಅವನ ರಾಣಿಯರು. ನಮ್ಮ ನೊಂಡಿ ಆ ಮುದಿ ರಾಜನನ್ನು ಸೋಲಿಸಿ ತಾನೇ ರಾಜನಾಗಿದ್ದಾನೆ. ಅವನು ನಿನ್ನೆ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ನಮ್ಮ ಸಮ್ಮುಖದಲ್ಲಿ ಕಿರೀಟಧಾರಣೆಗೆ ಬಂದಿರಬಹುದು, ಅಲ್ಲವೇ ನೊಂಡಿ?
ನಮಗೊಂದು ನಿಧಿಯಂತೆ ಲಭಿಸಿದ ರಮಣ, ಜೀವನದಿ ನಮಗೊಂದು ನಿಧಿಯಂತೆ ಲಭಿಸಿದ ರಮಣ. ನಮಗೊಂದು ನಿಧಿಯಂತೆ ಲಭಿಸಿದ ರಮಣ, ಜೀವನದಿ ನಮಗೊಂದು ನಿಧಿಯಂತೆ ಲಭಿಸಿದ ರಮಣ.
ನಿನ್ನ ಕಿರೀಟಧಾರಣೆಯ ಔತಣವನ್ನು ನೀನು ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಇಂದು ಪಡೆದೆ. ಸಂತೋಷ ತಾನೇ?
ಏನು ಅರಿಯದ ನನ್ನನ್ನೇ ನಿನ್ನಯ ಸೇವೆಗೆ ನೀ ತಂದೆ. ಏನು ಅರಿಯದ ನನ್ನನ್ನೇ ನಿನ್ನಯ ಸೇವೆಗೆ ನೀ ತಂದೆ. ಎಲ್ಲ ಕೊಡುತ್ತಿಹ ರಮಣಯ್ಯ, ಎಲ್ಲ ಕೊಡುತ್ತಿಹ ರಮಣಯ್ಯ. ನಿನ್ನನ್ನು ನಾನೇನು ಕೇಳನಯ್ಯ, ನಿನ್ನನ್ನು ನಾನೇನು ಕೇಳನಯ್ಯ. ನಮಗೊಂದು ನಿಧಿಯಂತೆ ಲಭಿಸಿದ ರಮಣ, ಜೀವನದಿ ನಮಗೊಂದು ನಿಧಿಯಂತೆ ಲಭಿಸಿದ ರಮಣ. ನಮಗೊಂದು ನಿಧಿಯಂತೆ ಲಭಿಸಿದ ರಮಣ, ಜೀವನದಿ ನಮಗೊಂದು ನಿಧಿಯಂತೆ ಲಭಿಸಿದ ರಮಣ.
And then, after Sri Rama left Kishkinda, we know what happened. There was the greatest Vanara Sainya that was brought together. And then, on that fine battle that happened in the land of Lanka, Sri Rama killed forevermore the greatest evil that existed on the planet, Ravanasura. And then Sita Mata was reunited with Sri Rama. What a joyous occasion it was, what a joyous occasion. We all know and we rejoice every Deepavali, for that is the day when Sri Rama undertakes the journey all the way from Lanka and comes back to Ayodhya, where there is a great celebration, there is music, there is lights and there is dance all around. Such was the joy and celebration.
सत्य ज्ञान सम्राट की जय जय, दुखों की जड़ जन्म व्याधि के राम बाण उपचार की जय जय। अचल की जय जय, हार की जय जय, अचल की जय जय, हार की जय जय। होते हुए सुलभ जो और सुलभता में दुर्लभ जो, तेजोमया अभिराम के जय जय, तेजोमया अभिराम के जय जय। अचल की जय जय, हार की जय जय, अचल की जय जय, हार की जय।
And that is the celebration that happened in Ayodhya and every year in all our homes. And that is how we know Rama Rajya to be. We saw it. Rama Rajya is not just a concept but a way of life. Rama Rajya, something that Mahatma Gandhi saw too. What does it mean? It means to be in a state where our heart is at peace, where there is prosperity all around. Our mind has no fear, and we are all one. And let me tell you that Rama Rajya is what happens to every one of us who seeks our blessings at the lotus feet of Sri Ramana. For when we surrender unto him, our heart finds peace. There's prosperity around. Our mind knows no fear. And we transcend all of our emotions, for we realize that we are but one. And that is what Sri Ramana says. Find your Atma Birama. Find that within you, the Rama within you. And that is when there will be great bliss. I hope you enjoy this great bliss.
பிரான் ஸ்ரீரமணன் முகம் வாழியே பதம் வாழியே பிரம்மஸ்வரூப பிரான் ஸ்ரீரமணன் முகம் வாழியே பதம் வாழியே.
நீங்கி செய்யத்தக்கன வாட்டி தலையாய மக்களிட தீரவே தருக்க நீங்கி செய்யத்தக்கன வாட்டி தலையாய மக்களிட தீரவே அருக்கனும் சோமனும் அங்கியுமாக அமைந்தொழில் முக்கச்சுடர் வாழியே அருக்கனும் சோமனும் அங்கியுமாக அமைந்தொழில் முக்கச்சுடர் வாழியே. ஸ்வரூப பிரான் ஸ்ரீரமணன் முகம் வாழியே பதம் வாழியே. சிவவென்று தியானித்திருக்கும் சிவயோகிய சைதமம் வாழியே சிவவென்று தியானித்திருக்கும் சிவயோகிய சைதமம் வாழியே. நவநவமாக நருந்தமிழ் மாலை நவிலும் பாவாண நலம் வாழியே நவநவமாக நருந்தமிழ் மாலை நவிலும் பாவாண நலம் வாழியே. ஸ்வரூப பிரான் ஸ்ரீரமணன் முகம் வாழியே பதம்